is also doing research in robotics for children and education.
Hello.
Vignesh is a PhD student whose work focused on designing a glove to help with stroke rehabilitation. Finally, Lewis, who sadly cannot join us today. He is a PhD student trying to understand how us robots can communicate your personal data effectively. As we go through the scenarios today, the research team will come out and explain their research in more detail. You will have the opportunity to ask questions about the research as well. Today the team has tasks they need to complete before going on holiday. You, the viewers, will decide what order they will do these in. You will vote and enroll in the chat which task you want to see. The most popular task will then be chosen. Myself, Fenchel Pepper, will then prompt the team to carry out this task. I will let you know when the voting window opens so you do not miss it. Voting is now open. Please look at the chat and select the task you want to happen next. While you are voting, I would like to invite one of the research team to come out and speak to the audience.
So, hello everyone. My name is Sylvia, and as Robot said, I'm a researcher at the University of Hertfordshire, and my main interest is HRI, or human-robot interaction, specifically social robotics and educational robotics. I've been part of several projects using Casper, the robot Casper, which is a robot that we designed and developed at the university some years ago to basically help support children with autism to acquire several skills or practice. With errors with either software or hardware. And also, hopefully, we'll have some projects coming that I'm particularly keen on, which are working with people from the third age. So that those studies will focus on help them have more quality of life and live independently for longer and help support them to do that. And this is something we can do in a house like this and with robots like the ones you'll see today.
I should, he should.
Yeah.
It's too early.
Yeah.
Voting is now closed. Thank you for voting. I will grab the results of the poll now.
Snap.
Thank you, viewers. I agree, it's time for a break.
So Carol here is one of the robots that help us with human-robot interaction. He's very social. He has a good speech. He also has some LED screen that can show different times, for example, things like this.
I see you are sitting down on the sofas. Are we all ready for some refreshments?
Yes, please, Carobot. What do you have in store for us?
Would anyone like a hot drink? We have tea and coffee.
Yeah, I'd like a tea, please.
I like to coffee, please.
Thank you. I have put the kettle on.
Thanks, Carobot.
Would anyone like a soft drink? We have water or fruit juices.
No, actually, I'm okay. Just a tea, thank you.
I'm okay, thank you.
Thank you. We also have snacks if anyone wants one. We have cookies, fruit and crisps.
I'd like a chocolate bar if you have one, Kerabot. Would you like anything for you?
Yeah, please. Let's see one.
Thank you. The kettle has boiled and I will tell Fetch Deco grab these snacks and drinks for you.
Alright, Fetch. I need your help. Thank you, Fetch. Thank you. Thanks for your help.
So probably Fetch will be the one bringing us to keep the chocolate bars. Thank you, Fetch. Chocolate bar?
Yeah.
Thank you, Fetch. Are you hungry? I think I'll save it for later.
Voting is now open. Please look at the chat and select the task you want to happen next. While you are voting, I would like to invite one of the research team to come up and speak to the audience.
Oh, hello. This is Reza. I want to talk about my PhD research topic, which is about human activity recognition. Specifically, I'm trying to improve robot perception in scenarios like human interaction scenarios. And basically, we developed a data set, like human activity data set from multi-view cameras. As you might notice, we have different camera views and daily activities we provide in this data set, like 14 activities, like drinking, walking, say climbing up, down, and so on. So hope this research would help people and help robots to help humans have a better interaction with humans and assist humans in daily life. And but hopefully that would might have a good impact in human life in the future. And that's all about my research and what I'm doing in Robot House. Hope you enjoy this demo and thank you. Yeah. And some sugar. Oh.
Voting is now closed. Thank you for voting. I will grab the results of the poll now. Security is of the utmost importance when leaving, especially to keep us robots safe. Before the team leave, we should check that everything is ready and the house is secure. Pepper will guide them through this.
I think Pepper's a bit shy. Pepper's also one of the social robots that we have.
Yeah.
Can talk a lot and interact with people a lot.
Personality.
All right, you can inspect all the sensors in the house on my display now.
Okay, thank you for showing us the sensors. Can we try a couple of things to see what will happen when we're away? Can we turn the lights off, please?
Sure, I have switched the lights off.
Great, that's perfect. Can you turn them back on again so we can see?
Sure, I have turned the lights back on.
Okay, let's go through the security scenario that you and the robots have to do while we're away on holidays.
I have set the lights to turn on automatically between 8 and 11 p.m. to simulate people being in. We robots will not move because otherwise the alarm will go off.
That's great, thank you.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay, I have turned that switch off for you.
Thank you, Pepper. That was very nice
All
of you.
good. I think we have finished our security check.
I think so too, thank you.
Voting is now open. Please look at the chat and select the task you want to happen next. While you are voting, I would like to invite one of the research team to come out and speak to the audience.
Hello everyone, I'm Patrick and welcome to the stream. I'm a senior research fellow here at the University of Hertfordshire and I'm managing this space with all these awesome robots. For example, here you can see the care robot, which is a robot that helps you assisting in your daily life, whereas the fetch robot behind it there, on that side, is a robot that can fetch and put things to your shelves, to the kitchen, or bring that to the researchers there for the refreshments, for example. And Pepper here in the end, in the corner that you can see from the other perspective, is a robot that can be very, very social and interactive. And we use this technology to research how social signals can work towards accepting robots better in our daily lives. So we invite people here in that facility, in the robot house, to do research experiments with us and then tell us how they like these robots. And the clue of this house is, it's not on campus, it's a real house in the residential area of Hatfield, where we see people like as visiting their neighbors or friends, and then they can work with us in our experiments, and you can see how they really feel about technology, as opposed to coming to a university where they would be in some kind of a lab, which is not a real setting, but here you can have a really, really authentic experience, where the only novelty is one of these devices.
Voting is now closed. Thank you for voting. I will grab the results of the poll now. Let us help the researchers pack their luggage.
You wanted to play badminton on your holidays, so you need to put your racket into your bag.
Oh, you're right, Pepper. Can you ask Fetch to bring the racket to me? Yeah, one of the things we can do is to make him remember a list of things, and then you can just tell, oh, you're missing this, you're missing that, you need this, you need that. Yeah, and then Fetch can come with the gripper because he can grip stuff and bring it to us so we can pack it in. They're very useful. Fetch is very useful. Oh, yes, it's coming. Okay. He has some navigation systems he can, and then he can try to give us things. Although you forgot the racket.
Don't forget your week left to do your rehabilitation. You will also need your passports. I have sent Fetch to bring them to you.
Yeah, definitely we do need passports if we're going away. And we also need the rehabilitation glove. That it's one of the work of one of our previous students who's working with rehabilitation gloves to help people. Yeah. Oh, thanks for both things, Fetch. Thank you. You need this, and I'll get the racket off as well. Thank you, Fetch.
That would be all I have on my list for you. You can now continue packing your personal belongings and beach utensils.
Thank you, Pepper. Will do.
This one.
Oh, you can put it here.
Finally, I would once more like to invite one of the researchers to come out and speak to the audience.
We did that one, yes.
Hello,
Thank
it's
you.
me again. I'm talking on behalf of Lewis, who sadly couldn't be here. He's interested in how these robots can help us with using our personal information in a sensible way and not disclose it too much to others. So, for example, handling of data like credit card, sensitive data, and look how we can use that in an interaction where other people might be overhearing. If you're interested in this, please don't hesitate to contact us because we're running a study very, very shortly, which would be an online study where you are invited to participate, and just look on our website of robohouse.cars.ac.uk where you can find a link. Thank you.
Voting is now open. Please look at the chat and select the task you want to happen next.
You should pack the towel as well. Pack that in here.
Whatever.
No.
All right, let's talk to our friends and family.
Excuse me, you just
Yeah?
received an email about a job interview in 3 days. This would be in the middle of your vacation. Should I reschedule?
Let me have a look at my calendar. Yes, please reschedule for after the vacation, just the day after. And can you please send an email to our friends to let them know that we're coming.
Sure. Should I include details about the flight?
Yes, of course, so they know when to pick us up. Also, do you know where Reza is?
Fetch just told me that they went upstairs not long ago. Would you like me to tell them you're going to the call?
Yes, please. Tell them to come down because we're gonna call my mother, and she would like to see them.
All right. I will put the call on the television for you.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Oh, hello. Hi, Mom.
Hi, hello.
Just calling to tell you that we're gonna go on holidays, just for you to know.
Fantastic. When are you landing?
We'll be landing at around 5, but they're gonna come pick us up at the airport.
Okay, enjoy your holidays.
Yeah, we're looking forward to get some tan on. See you soon then. Bye.
Have fun. Bye.
Thank you, Pepper, for putting the call on.
Finally, I would once more like to invite one of the researchers to come out and speak to the audience.
Hi everyone, my name is Vignesh, as I was introduced earlier. So earlier in the previous scenario, you might have heard the mention of a V glove. That relates to the other part of the research that we do in our group. So more specifically, this was my PhD. This is called the V glove. It's designed to help stroke patients perform rehabilitation of their fingers and wrists at their own homes without the requirement of a therapist to be present. What this allows is for them to perform independent rehabilitation without depending on therapist availability, which we hope would eventually end up reducing the stress on an already strained healthcare system. So this is a wireless glove which we designed and subjected it to multiple user studies with healthy participants, stroke therapists, and then we took it to stroke patients who used it for a period of 6 months at their own homes and helped us validate its feasibility. Especially in the case of the first participant who requested the glove to retain the glove beyond the study's 6-week duration, since he found it very useful and satisfied with it. What we hope for the future is to conduct further large-scale studies where we take it to more participants to study in more detail the effectiveness of the rehabilitation that the V glove delivers. If for more information, you can find my profile on the internet. Thank you very much. And now, if you have any questions about the overall stream of any of the research topics that we spoke about.
Thank you for joining us today. We had lots of fun preparing our vacation. Please now ask any questions you might have for the research team.
Okay, so let's take the questions from the end here.
Yeah.
So the first question is, are the robots operating in the house 24/7? Patrick?
No, they're not. We typically use them during short periods of experiments, where we invite people to come in and then experience 20 minutes to an hour of experimentation, and then afterwards put the robots back. And we do that on purpose because we want to have a controlled behavior of those robots. We don't want them to do random things, but we want a very, very fixed sequence so we can see what kind of behavior is accepted and which one is not. Does that answer your question?
As we wait for the response. Meanwhile, what are the other household tasks that a robot platform can perform?
Yeah, so we're talking about assisted robotics here. You can have different kinds of assistants. For example, you can have a social facilitator that you can see here with a Pepper robot, where social assistance is something where the robot can either put you into contact with somebody, for example, facilitate a call on the TV screen there, or can be the social actor themselves, playing games with somebody who's lonely, or get somebody to go outside, which is the social side of things. Then you have physical assistance where you can pick things up from the floor, like a remote control that has been fallen down, or like Fetch does, bring things back and forth, right? So that's the physical part of the assistance. Yeah, yes, exactly. And then you also have cognitive assistant, where a robot can help you with your memory, where it can tell you, look, you forgot to your doctor's appointment, you need to leave now. For example, with the Pepper Robot, we have a function where we can set a reminder about things, so people don't forget what kind of medicine they need to take.
Next one is about the rehabilitation technology.
Mhm.
So, we designed it primarily with stroke patients in mind, especially patients who have excessive stiffness in their fingers and wrists. You might have seen some survivors with hands like this. But effectively, it could later be used also by patients with any type of neurological injury that has made their fingers and wrists weak. So it has the potential to be used for a wider range of accidents. Thanks for the question.
Also have whether computer intervention is required always. It said for the robots to function, if computer intervention is required always.
Yes and no. So yes, on the one hand, because these robots basically are computers. They have their robot here. You can barely see. Has 6 computers on board, like one of these small computing units that are then communicating with each other to solve the algorithms, people detection, navigation, audio detection, audio output, all these kind of things controlled in the motors. It's generally done on board on these machines. But since they run a network protocol, they can also be controlled using any of the computers we have here in the house. So sometimes if we have a computationally heavy task, we then use external hardware and sometimes even the cloud. But usually we try to keep everything condensed on these robots to allow for better control about data. And we take data privacy very seriously, as you know. But for example, US's research is in the house, right?
So there's
What is the biggest challenge you face in research? Oh, that's a good question. Yeah, I guess each of us has their own biggest challenge.
yeah.
Yeah, maybe you want to start? I don't know.
I'd say one of the challenges that we have in any study that requires human participation is that it takes a lot of time. And we have to get people to come to the house to do the experiment, so it just takes a lot of time. It's one of the biggest issues that we have. Not because we cannot do it, but it just takes a lot of resources to run any study on there that requires human participation.
Yeah, just maybe to add, this is very also one of my biggest challenges. And on top of that, it's also that you have this fractured landscape of knowledge. So you have little insights here and there, and then to get them on one machine and integrate them into one system is very challenging. So whether it is some theoretical knowledge you have about how robots work, or some technological advances like integrating a new algorithm in there and putting it all together to have a system that functions in the way you expect, is extremely difficult.
Any specific challenge that you want to talk about?
To be short, since we're running out of time, one interesting challenge that we face when we are conducting user studies is because this is a trial, we can't expect the participants to let go or stop their other procedures that they're currently undergoing. So this makes it really hard to isolate the benefits or negatives of using a rehabilitation technology in its development. So this is an ethical conundrum which we need to work on. So that's an interesting challenge.
Do you have time
I
for one
think
more question, or?
one more question, and then we need to go for a break, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe after the others were on
There's one about the.
Oh, yeah, just very quick. The robots, as I mentioned earlier, robots, do they share data together? Yes, they can. They don't have to, but they can make use of data. So what you could see in our demo as well was that robots can control some of the house's functions, and then can also take the sensory data from the house. For example, we have motion sensors here. We have light sensors. We can switch on the light, switch them off, as you saw in the security check.
You have sensors in the fridge door.
Exactly. In all of the drawers, everywhere basically, we have the smart home technology involved, and these robots could use that and then also share that between each other. Yes. With this, I think we go for a short break, and then we try to be ready for the next one in a few minutes.
Thanks so much for joining us.
you.
of holidays, we want to show how robots can assist people in their daily activities. We are so happy you could join us today. Let's meet the human research team. First, we have Reza. He is a PhD student looking at activity recognition.
Hello, Michael.
We have Patrick, who is a senior research fellow and manager of the Robot House. His main research focuses on making robotics act more socially acceptable.
Nice to see you all.
Sylvia is a lecturer at the university who is also doing research in robotics for children and education.
Hello, everyone.
Vignesh is a PhD student whose work focused on designing a glove to help with stroke rehabilitation. Finally, Lewis, who sadly cannot join us today. He is a PhD student trying to understand how us robots can communicate your personal data effectively.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
Hope you enjoy.
As we go through the scenarios today, the research team will come out and explain their research in more detail. You will have the opportunity to ask questions about their research as well. Today, the team has tasks they need to complete before going on holiday.
Yes.
You, the viewers, will decide what order they will do these in. You will vote and enroll in the check which task you want to see. The most popular task will then be chosen. Myself, Central Pepper will then prompt the team to carry out this task. I will let you know when the voting window opens so you do not miss it. Voting is now open. Please look at the chat and select the task you want to happen next. While you are voting, I would like to invite one of the research team to come out and speak to the audience.
Hello, my name is Sylvia, and as Carol here said, I'm a lecturer at the University of Hertfordshire. My main research interest is related to HRI, this human-robot interaction, both social robotics and educational robotics. I've been part of several projects using the Casper robot, which is a robot that was designed and developed here at the University of Hertfordshire to be used with kids with autism to help them acquire certain skills or develop joint play, etc. I have also been conducting studies in schools about basically helping the children learn some programming skills, but by using like actual robots and helping them understand how to program a robot in the real world. And we have also some projects, we hopefully have some projects coming that are going to relate to people of the third age. So the idea would be to help them have more quality of life or live independently for longer, using some aids like the robots you see in this house or this same house. Thank you.
Voting is now closed. Thank you for voting. I will grab the results of the poll now. Let us help the researchers pack their luggage.
You wanted to play badminton on your holidays, so you need to put your racket into your bag.
Oh, you're right. Can you please ask Fetch to bring the racket to me?
Which is going to help me. There you. Yeah, thank you, Paige. Yeah.
So Fetch is one of the robots that we use to grab stuff because he has this gripper that it's very useful to grab anything that's like slightly solid. So things like basketballs, rackets, books, anything with remotes, Fetch can grab and bring.
Looking for you.
He also has some navigational tools, so thank you, Fetch. Ooh. Thank you, Fetch. You can also navigate around the house. Yes. Side. Pepper, do I have anything else on my list? So Pepper can help me remember what do I have in my list to pack.
Yeah.
So there are other things like passports or the wee glove. So yeah, Pepper, please tell Fetch to bring me the passports. Okay, Fetch. Thank you. Thank you. I've gotten them myself, but thank you. Thank you, Fetch. And thank you, Pepper. And we also have to pack a wee glove, but it's there, so I'll get that one myself. So we need to pack this one as well. So now that we're packed, I think we're ready to go.
Yeah, let's go.
Do you think we're doing anything else?
No, it's okay.
Voting is now open. Please look at the chat and select the task you want to happen next. While you are voting, I would like to invite one of the research team to come out and speak to the audience.
Hi everyone. Like Pepper actually forgot to remind Sylvia about packing the wee glove. This is what my PhD was focused on. This is a rehabilitation orthosis with a wireless device which allows stroke patients to perform rehabilitation of their fingers and the wrists independently of the therapist, which allows and it has sensors in it which allows therapists to remotely monitor the progress of the patients, perhaps even more than one participant, so that it helps them to efficiently manage their time, which we hope would allow to reduce the stress on an already strained healthcare system and help stroke patients in regaining the ability to live independently, because it allows them to perform flexion extension exercises of the fingers and wrists while playing therapeutic computer games on a tablet to keep their motivation levels up, and to do all this at their own home whenever it's convenient for them without depending on the availability of therapist appointment.
That's good.
So we've done multiple user studies, healthy participants, stroke therapists, and patients, and their feedback has helped us validate its feasibility, especially in the case of our first stroke participant who initially used it for a period of 6 weeks and requested to retain the glove beyond its duration and ended up using it for 2 months because he was satisfied with it and saw noticeable changes in his improvements in his fingers, where he went from having a completely closed fist at the beginning of the study to at the end of 6 weeks being able to voluntarily open his fingers. Encouraged by these results, we hope to conduct long-term studies in the future to further validate its effectiveness. So that's a short review of my research. For more information, you can follow me on my LinkedIn or where you can see my published works. Thank you.
Do you want some of this? If I do it anyways,
It's important. Maybe I get better.
Voting is now closed. Thank you for voting. I will grab the results of the poll now. Security is of the utmost importance when leaving, especially to keep us robots safe. Before the team leave, we should check that everything is ready and the house is secure. Pepper will guide them through this.
Hello, I am ready to start the security check.
Oh, perfect. Can we start by you showing me the map of all of the plugs and sensors of the house, please? So the house is full of sensors, and the robots can access the map to know which sensors are on and off, and which plugs are on and off. Okay. Thank you. Can we try to turn the lights off, please?
Sure, I can do that.
Thank you. That's very useful. Can you turn them back on again?
I turned them back on now.
Perfect. Thanks so much. Do you mind if we run through the scenario that you have to do? You remember how it was when we're away and you robots are here alone?
I will set the lights on in random pattern.
Yes, that is correct. So we can make them program the sensors so it looks like there's someone in the house, although we're away. That's very nice of you.
Oh, I left. I don't know.
Can you help, Pepper?
Did that for you now.
Okay, perfect. So he can also switch the plug off for you. So even if you left something on, then the robots can switch that off for you. And we
The
don't burn
security
it.
check is now finished. Thank you.
Thank you, Pepper. That was lovely. Yeah, that's how we can make
Voting is now
Pepper
open.
here.
Please look at the chat and select the task you want to happen next. While you are voting, I would like to invite one of the research team to come out and speak to the audience.
You can go on.
Hello, I'm Patrick. I'm a senior research fellow, as Kerbot earlier introduced me. I'm managing this space and I'm looking after this project as well. This is one of the technology, the Kerbot, that we have here in the house for human robot interaction. And this is an assistive robot that takes care of you, can grasp things, can run around and do things to help you in your daily activities whilst you're in a domestic environment. Whereas we have this Kerbot, that is a very versatile robot. We also have other machines like the Fletch robot down there. That is a robot that is better in physical manipulation tasks, in doing things like fetching and carry stuff from here to there. For example, getting the researcher something to drink or to eat, where it's not very social. On the other hand, Pepper over there has a very, very social appearance. It's a very attractive robot in the sense that people immediately like it, immediately want to interact with it because of its embodiment that is very human-like, where Kerbot is more like a mixture, a hybrid between those two robots. So we use this facility to see how the different embodiments of these robots can make you interact with them in a different way, or how people would like to interact with these kind of robots. For example, would they prefer such a robot to help you, or would they prefer a more functional robot as a fetch robot to help you in daily activities? For that, we have this house, which is a unique research facility because it is not in a university building, but it's in Hatfield, the town of Hatfield, in the residential area, where people can feel at home, feel like they visited their neighbor, instead of coming to the university to do some experiment with researchers, and can be quite intimidating for them to come to the university as opposed to a friend's house. And that's why we run this extremely interesting facility and do all kinds of interesting research. Thank you.
Voting is now closed. Thank you for voting. I will grab the results of the poll now. All right, let's talk to our friends and family.
Okay.
Excuse me, you just received an email about a job interview in 3 days. This would be in the middle of your vacation. Should I reschedule?
Let me check my calendar first, Pepper. You know what? Yeah, reschedule for the first day after we come back from holidays, you know? And also, can you send an email to our friends to tell them that we're coming? So he can put us in contact and...
Sure, we'll do that.
Thank you. Include also some flight details. And have you seen Big Nesh around?
Fetch told me he's gone upstairs.
Oh, he's gone upstairs. Okay, can you tell him to come back down? Because I would like to call my mom to tell her that we're going and she would like to see him. They get along well.
Sure, I will put the call on the screen for you.
Perfect. Thank you, Pepper. Oh, hi, Mom. Hey, Mom.
Hello.
Hi. I'll just come and call to tell you that we're coming, basically.
Fantastic. When are you landing?
We're landing at around 5 or so, but they're coming to pick us up.
Okay. Enjoy your holidays.
Yeah, we're looking forward to have some sun. See you soon then. Goodbye.
Have fun. Bye.
Bye. Thank you, Pepper, for putting the call through. It was very nice of you. So he can also help with putting calls and putting us in contact with.
You're welcome and enjoy packing.
Thank you.
Voting is now open. Please look at the chat and select the task you want to happen next. While you are voting, I would like to invite one of the research team to come out and speak to the audience.
Hello, Patrick again. I'm here to speak on behalf of Lewis, our PhD student. And he's very interested in these kind of scenarios where data is involved and robots share that data in conversation with other people might overhear it. So he wants to know how robots like this robot or a pet robot can preserve information that is relevant to us and we don't want to have shared, or look into alternative ways to get that data communicated to someone, for example, via a smartphone or other technology, when it needs to be somewhat confidential. So really get to know how people value that data and how they want robots to use that data in a conversation, in an open conversation that might be overheard by other people. Thank you so much, and please enjoy and continue watching.
Voting is now closed. Thank you for voting. I will grab the results of the poll now. Thank you, viewers. I agree, it's time for a break.
It's time for a break after all this hard work packing. So, because Carobot is a social robot, he commands, he can speak to us, he can navigate around the house. He has some sensors as well, and a screen on the top.
I see you are sitting down on the sofas.
Mm-hmm.
Are we all ready for some refreshments?
Yes, please, that's a great idea. What do you have, Carobot?
Would anyone like a hot drink? We have tea and coffee.
You know what? I think I would rather a tea today.
I would like coffee today.
Thank you. I have put the kettle on.
Thank you, Carabot.
Thank you.
Would anyone like a soft drink? We have water or fruit juices.
No, thank you. I'm fine with the tea.
Yeah, I'm fine too.
Thank you. We also have snacks if anyone wants one. We have cookies, fruit and crisps.
I'll take a chocolate bar if you have one of those, Carabot, please. You want anything?
Yeah, I would like chocolate bar too. Thank you.
Thank you, Carabot.
Thank you. The kettle has boiled and I will tell Fetch Deco grab these snacks and drinks for you.
Thank you, Carabot. Because they have access to the sensors, you can tell when the kettle has boiled. That's very helpful to let us know, yes, it has boiled or no, it hasn't. So because Fetch can also navigate around the house, they have a map of the house. So we can tell them to go from one place to the other, and then we'll navigate on their own, avoiding the obstacles. Oh, thank you, Fetch. Well done. Thank you. Thank you, Fetch. You're very kind. There we go. You want one? There you go. And we can have the glasses too.
Finally, I would once more like to invite one of the researchers to come out and speak to the audience.
Yeah, hello, I'm Reza, third year PhD student at the University of Hertfordshire. My research topic is about human activity recognition and embedded scenarios like this. And as you might notice, we have different camera views and also robot view. And basically, I'm trying to improve robot perception and to have effective interaction with human in these kind of scenarios. And so, on top of that, we also provide a dataset, a multi-view dataset, includes 14 daily activity. And so now our challenge basically is sort of how to combine these four camera views and like omni view and robot view and two other camera in different positions. So combining this is basically my first challenge, my work, and how to put all of this together in scenarios, so include as a real-time scenario is second. Hope this research will be helpful for human beings and have a good impacting human life. Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us today. We had lots of fun preparing our vacation. Please now ask any questions you might have for the research team.
So we're going to use this time now to answer some of the questions. Patrick, Vignesh, if you're to join me for the Q&A. Okay, so one of the first questions is, how do robots distinguish people from inanimate objects?
Well, there's different things you can consider when trying to identify people in the area, or tell them apart from the background. So one thing is movement, for example, right? When you consider movement, people are typically the only things that move alongside animals and maybe robots, but inanimate objects typically don't move by themselves. Then you can have infrared sensors that detect heat signals of people, for example, and also you can detect faces, which is a very good identifier for people. So because walls don't have faces and objects don't have faces, if you see a face and identify a voice in the same area, then you can be quite sure that there's a person.
And most of the robots wouldn't have a camera anyway for navigating, so we can
Exactly.
add like a face recognition software, so they can tell whether there's a person or not.
So here we have signals, like we have a camera here that can detect people. This is an overhead camera that you know from the tube maybe. And also we have these heat detecting signals. That is a motion detector where we know that there is somebody there, maybe something. Usually typically it doesn't detect anything that is a robot because it detects a heat signal as I said. So we're quite safe that there's people moving there. Like, maybe also like an alarm that we use, right?
So other questions? Where would you a robot leave our personal data?
And that's a very good question.
Yeah.
Because if you want to have such a robot interact with us, it's generally considered beneficial if it has access to our data, since it needs to be personalized to our preferences. For example, what do we like? Do we want that robot to wake us up at 6 a.m. in the morning, or do we want that robot to let us sleep for a while? And for that, it needs to learn our habits. It needs to learn how we like our tea. It needs to learn what kind of medication we need. It needs to learn what calendar points we have in order to tell us what is the calendar point or what is the things for today, right?
Things like
So-
medical assignments. If we want the robot to manage that for us, then we will have to have this data.
So it needs data in order to be effective and functional. That's just it. It just needs the data to imagine you have a personal butler or servant, right? This is the same thing. They need to know our habits and our things that we want to need in order to be useful for us.
I think maybe one more question because
Yeah.
we're running over a little bit, so maybe just one more.
Yes. We don't have any sensors that will detect weight. The grippers have a force detection and can know how much they carry. And the arms themselves also have a detection of how much gravity is applied to the arm. So in theory, they could check the luggage. We don't do that right now because the luggage is maybe 15 kilograms. And these robots typically can hold up to 10 kilograms, sometimes only 5. So in this case, we don't want to do that. But theoretically, it's possible, yes.
And as for dimensions, we could use some
Yeah.
also cameras, things like that, to basically separate the luggage from the background and see how long it is.
Yeah, very good point, because these robots have 3D depth cameras, so they know how the 3D shape of an object looks like, and they can then calculate how big an object is, yes.
Thank you everyone for your questions, and
See you in the next one.
we're all gonna take a break
Yeah.
and
A
see you
short break,
soon.
and then we'll see you later.
Goodbye, thank you.
So in the meantime, we are here to answer the questions that you, in the meanwhile, put in the chat. So we're quite happy that there are a few questions. And yeah, please, can you bring them up for us? Okay, so Ali asks, how do the environmental noises affect the interaction with the robots?
So one of the first things is about voice recognition. If there's a lot of noise, the robot's not going to be able to detect your voice and distinguish it from the noise. So this is a huge issue, particularly with some of the robots that are the more social, that we have to command them by voice. If there's a lot of noise, then they might have issues answering or finding you if they're trying to track you by voice.
Typically, if you have like a white noise, that's not so much of a problem. So if you have, for example, the computer sounds or something in the background that is running, it's not so much of a problem. But if there's other people talking in the background, that is when the problem really starts. Because then the robot doesn't really know where the signal is coming from or that person is speaking. Or if Silvia and I would be talking between each other,
Yeah.
the robots wouldn't understand because they are really relying on detecting one sentence and then acting on that sentence. If you're not only talking about verbal or audio noise, then also other noise can affect the interaction. For example, if there is light noise, for example, when the sun is shining inside and then there's ultraviolet light or infrared light, that can affect the senses of the robot, of course. So that makes them less able to
Reliable?
navigate in the area, for example. They might see obstacles where there are no obstacles. So these kind of effects you need to take into account if you plan your experiments, plan your design, and with the interaction with people. So that can always happen. Any other questions?
So can a robot be used in dispensing medicine to disabled people at the periodic interval? So one of the things we can do is, of course, set the robot to remind you at the periodic interval, but we could automate the task potentially to make the robot bring things to you at the periodic interval.
Yeah, so there are attempts out there where people try to have a dispensing robot that then can give you the medicine and then tries to track whether you actually took the medicine or not, which is very, very difficult because people also, if it's not a robot but a real person that cares for you, people are very good in doing as if they took the medicine or putting it away or not drinking a glass of water when they're being asked to do that. So it's very tricky to really assess that, and for that reason, and it's a medical device with the high risk factor involved, where if you give the wrong medicine and you give it twice, we don't really go after these kind of tasks. We usually, as Silvia said, suggest to do that and don't do the dispensing itself. But theoretically, this is possible, yes. Good question, yeah.
How do the robots charge their battery and how long does it last? Well, mostly we charge them, we put them to charge. Some robots, maybe not these ones, but for example, the vacuum robot that you have seen, some of them can dock themselves.
Oh, yeah, they can dock
So,
themselves,
so usually for these ones, I mean, they could.
So
But
they could do that, you're right. We actually have docking station for these robots, but because we want to have a domestic environment, we don't want to put these docking stations elsewhere. So that's why we don't use them and put them on charge manually and then put the charger away whilst we're doing demo like this or whilst we have any interaction.
Okay. And how long does the battery last?
It really depends on the use case
Yeah.
and on the robot. So Fetch, for example, has 2 large car batteries inside and it lasts for 7 hours maybe. If it doesn't use the arm too much, it lasts for a very long time. The arm is very power demanding, so if you use the arm, maybe it reduces drastically to 2 hours or so.
I think depends on what model of the robot are we using, what are we using it for. So if they're just moving around the house, they could probably stay up more time. But if they're doing some very computational demanding tasks.
Yeah, and motor demanding. That's
Yeah.
really power, right? So that's really the challenge there. Yeah, and as we said, it's really dependent on the task. And typically, for now, for example, we don't need to recharge the military. So these 2-hour sessions are really
They're okay. But if you wanted to have something like 24 hours, you would need to recharge the robot at some point, especially if they're doing this motor intensive task.
Do we have another question, maybe?
Can the robots go on holiday with you?
Yes and no. Some can. Obviously, we can't take care of it. We cannot take fetch because they're quite heavy. They weigh up to 150 kilograms or so.
We have to ship them as cargo.
So we can ship them as cargo. Some people ship the pepper robot, for example, which is not it's smaller than the average person, right? So you can take it somewhere. You can also put it in the boot of your car, for example. That's fine. They cannot sit in the passenger seat or they cannot.
No.
We have other robots, for example, the mirror robot, which is a small doggy-like robot that you can take that you can use for
Social
interaction, for example. So
Um,
we have these; they can go easily. Yes.
yeah, we also have an iBot, which is like the sort of dog, also another dog-like robot, and that one can go on your back.
And that was kind of an idea we have. It's not a traditional robot, but to design a medical robot to be able to allow the patients to carry and help them train even if they are going on a vacation or traveling for business purposes, so that they don't have to discontinue and they could actually carry it along with them wherever they travel and train on the flight, for example. But that was also a motivation behind Vegas design.
Yeah, or some things like mobile bases, like this one, for example, we could easily bring this in the luggage and just bring it with us, which is also a robot, although it doesn't look like. Are there? Okay, we're gonna go on a break for a few minutes and then we'll come back. Thank you for waiting.
Welcome to my house. Today, the human research team will be getting ready for their vacation. Me and my robot friends Fetch and Pepper will be helping them get ready for their holidays. We want to show how robots can assist people in their daily activities. We are so happy you could join us today. Let's meet the human research team. First, we have Reza. He is a PhD student looking at activity recognition.
Yeah. Go.
We have Patrick, who is a senior research fellow and manager of the Robot House. His main research focuses on making robotics act more socially acceptable.
Hello, good to see you here.
Sylvia is a lecturer at the university who is also doing research in robotics for children and education.
Hello, everyone.
Vignesh is a PhD student whose work focused on designing a glove to help with stroke rehabilitation.
Hi, everyone.
Finally, Lewis, who sadly cannot join us today. He is a PhD student trying to understand how us robots can communicate your personal data effectively.
Enjoy.
Thank you all for being
Nice
here.
meeting you.
Yeah.
As we go through the scenarios today, the research team will come out and explain their research in more detail. You will have the opportunity to ask questions about their research as well. Today, the team has tasks they need to complete before going on holiday. You, the viewers, will decide what order they will do these in. You will vote and enroll in the chat which task you want to see. The most popular task will then be chosen. Myself, Fenchel Pecker, will then prompt the team to carry out this task. I will let you know when the voting window opens so you do not miss it. Voting is now open. Please look at the chat and select the task you want to happen next. While you are voting, I would like to invite one of the research team to come out and speak to the audience.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sylvia, and as Carol said before, I'm a lecturer here at the University of Hertfordshire. My main research interest is HRI, which is human-robot interaction, both social robots but also educational robots. So that means also robots that work in schools. So I've been involved in projects using the Casper robot, which is a robot that works with kids that have autism. I've also worked in some schools studying how some issues, specifically errors in robots, can affect the experience of children. And hopefully we'll have some studies coming to people of the third age to hopefully help them live independently for longer and have a better quality of life in an environment similar to this one and using robots like the social robots that you can see today. So enjoy and let us know if you have questions later.
Voting is now closed. Thank you for voting. I will grab the results of the poll now. Let us help the researchers pack their luggage.
Pepper, can you ask Fetch to bring us some of the things we need for our vacation? Maybe a badminton racket, because we really want to play badminton. So for packing, we probably can make some of the robots come and bring the things for us. We can also ask them to remind us things we haven't put in the bag. So hopefully they can come like briefing whatever it is that we need. For example, Fetch can come with a badminton racket as I asked Pepper. Well, thank you guys. Thank you, Fetch. That was very nice. Can you bring me the passports too? So for example, As long as they can prove it, that is fine.
Could you please carry this?
We might also need some rehabilitation glove. That's called wee glove, but I'm pretty sure that later on Vignesh can talk about it and put it in the bag so we can bring it with us in the vacation. Thank you, Pepper. We definitely need those. So we have the passport, and I think we're essentially ready to go. I think we might need a couple more clothes just because, but that's pretty much it. I think we're
Yeah.
almost ready. Yeah. So we can put it in the side and then continue. And I'm gonna get the wee glove that we said before that we will need. Thank you.
Voting is now open. Please look at the chat and select the task you want to happen next. While you are voting, I would like to invite one of the research team to come out and speak to the audience.
Hi everyone, I'm Vignesh. Thanks, Sylvia. So, I forgot to mention that Sylvia also had to pack the Vega. This is a rehabilitation device which allows stroke patients to perform rehabilitation of their fingers and wrists in their own home without depending on the availability of the therapist. In our user studies, we got significantly positive feedback from patients, especially with us. First, one of the stroke participants who requested to retain the device beyond the initial 6 weeks period of our study. Encouraged by these results, we aim to conduct future large-scale trials to just statistically verify the effectiveness of Vega's rehabilitative effects. This is a short review of my work. For more information, you can follow me on LinkedIn, where I discuss some publications. Thank you.
Voting is now closed. Thank you for voting. I will grab the results of the poll now. Thank you, viewers. I agree, it's time for a break.
What is the have in the house? So he can navigate around obstacles, like with the right table. And he can speak to us and detect the objects using sensors and camera.
I see you are sitting down on the sofas. Are we all ready for some refreshments?
Oh, that's a great idea. Yes, thank you, Carabot. What do you have?
Would anyone like a hot drink? We have tea and coffee.
Yeah, actually, can I have a tea, please? Do you like anything?
Yeah, coffee please. Thank you.
Thank you. I have put the kettle on.
Thank you. That's great.
Would anyone like a soft drink? We have water or fruit juices.
Nah, I think I'm fine just with the tea.
Yeah, me too. We need that. I don't need anything.
Thank you. We also have snacks if anyone wants one. We have cookies, fruit and crisps.
Now that you mention it, if I could have a chocolate bar, I would really appreciate it, Carol. You want anything?
Yeah, the same one, please. Thank you.
Yeah, 2 chocolate bars. Please.
Thank you. The kettle has boiled and I will tell Fetch Deco grab these snacks and drinks for you.
Thank you, Carol. So the idea is that it kind of looks like a butler. That's the idea behind the design. Oh, here it comes back with our refreshments. Thank you, Fetch. You're very helpful.
Thank you.
You want one of them? Yes, you can use Fetch to bring stuff as long as we put them on a tray and bring it to people. So, yes, that's very nice. Thank you, Pepper. And thank you, Carobot. And thank you, Fed.
Thank you.
Thank you, Reza.
Voting is now open. Please look at the chat and select the task you want to happen next. While you are voting, I would like to invite one of the research team to come up and speak to the audience.
Okay. Hello, I'm Reza here. I would like to talk about my case research, which is about human activity recognition in ambient assisted living scenarios in environments like this with robots and people. Robots need to be assured assist humans in different scenarios. And basically, we developed a data set about human activity recognition and put some daily activities like 14 daily activities, drinking, walking, cleaning, and so on. And you can be logging on our website and all this sort of data that we publish all this. And usually all these things should come to a better human-robot interaction. And that's all about my work. And thank you.
Voting is now closed. Thank you for voting. I will grab the results of the poll now. All right, let's talk to our friends and family.
Excuse me, you just received an email about a job interview in 3 days. This would be in the middle of your vacation. Should I reschedule?
Yeah, but let me check to my phone first. Actually, yeah, you know what? Reschedule for the first day after we come back from our trip. That would be lovely, thank you. And if you can, please send an email to our friends to let them know that we're coming.
Sure, I can do that. Do you want me to include details?
Yes, please include the details of our flight so they know when are we coming and when are we landing. Have you seen Reza? We're about to call my parents and I'm pretty sure they'd like to see him.
Reza is gone upstairs. Fetch told me.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Can you tell him to come down for the video call? And can you put the video call in the screen?
I will get him in and bring up the call.
Thank you, Pepper. That's lovely of you. Oh, hi, Reza.
Yeah, they know where I am.
Oh, hi, Mom. How are you?
Hello.
Hi, I was just going to tell you that we're gonna be going there soon.
Fantastic. When are you landing?
We're gonna be landing at 5 or so, but some friends are picking us from the airport.
Okay. Enjoy your holidays.
Yeah, we're looking forward to have some tan on. See you soon then. Goodbye.
Have fun. Bye.
Bye. Thanks, Pepper, for putting the call through.
You're welcome.
Yeah, Pepper can also help us keep in contact with friends and family, both using his own screen, but also connecting to other screens in the house.
Finally, I would once more like to invite one of the researchers to come up and speak to the audience.
I'm going to talk to you on behalf of Lewis, our PhD student, who is concerned with the privacy of personal data on these kind of robots and how we can use robots in interaction with humans and then use that personal data so that we feel that we go through that like in a secure and safe manner and don't violate our privacy concerns. As an example, we don't want these robots to go around and tell everybody our credit card number, right? So we need to be careful when there's people around that overhear our conversation with these robots, which is different to a mobile phone, right? Where we can only rehabilitate, but the robot uses natural language for communication, and so it's much more of a concern. And in these kind of scenarios, we can explore what is an appropriate behavior, which is not appropriate behavior, and then we can see what we can implement on robots of the future that are then not in our houses. Yeah. With that, I think we're finishing our demo today. And I invite everybody to come here for the Q&A session. Right? It's me. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
We might have some questions.
Yeah.
So, if money wasn't an issue, what experiment would you run first?
Oh, that's a good question.
It's a difficult question.
Yeah.
If money wasn't an issue at all.
If money was no issue, the bigger issue is time, actually. Because what you need to do first is create some kind of system that is very robust, that can be employed in the situation at once. So the first thing that I would do is create a robot that is actually useful and can have so many different situations. And not like a robot like Pepper that is very special in that kind of regard in interaction, but can also grasp things, can also be very agile and can run around and have a stand, right? Can also have a bigger mind that is connected to the internet and can have up-to-date information and use that in conversation. If you have a system that has all of that, you can reduce it to something that you can use as a task. So it's a very big undertaking, and then you're going to experiment from that, right?
Yeah, I'd say, yeah, in general, I mean, although money is an issue, but it's more time and effort put into creating all the behaviors you want from the robot, fighting with the robot so it does what you want it to do in the way that you want it to do. I think, all robots have limitations, right? So we could get rid of some of those limitations.
Yeah, that's what
Some
I
of
mean.
it, yeah.
And also, this is related to money, I guess, but we need to consider so many different perspectives when building these robots. So our perspective as computer scientists or engineers is different from the perspective of a care person that really knows what these robots need to do in the context, right? So we need to have people that are in the field of the applied assisted robots in that case, people from maybe social sciences, from psychology that know how these robots actually leave an impression in your mind and what you think of them. So it's a very interdisciplinary field, and money has to bring all people together, of course, but actually it needs to be a good team that works together on the specific idea and scenario that needs to be implemented. Right? So that's more visual.
Yeah, also, for example, even though sometimes we don't think that they are that related, but even some people from arts to help design a robot. So yeah, like bringing all of these people from all of these different fields together would be one of the best things you can do to move the field forward. And I'm not sure if money is the solution, but it would help.
Yeah, I agree with exactly with that point, especially when you saw my rehabilitation club and we found out that a very important aspect that influences participants' acceptance is its appearance. If it really appears very complicated and mechanical, turns out participants are hesitant towards accepting robotic devices. So making it look nice, making it look appealing, certainly plays a significant role in this. So, like you said, roping in experts who are from arts who can influence the aesthetic side of this job. So robotic devices certainly helps in bridging the gap between laboratory successful tests and actually it ending up successful in the wild.
At the same time, it's not sufficient to have people from arts that make it nice and appealing, right?
Yeah.
Because if it oversells its functionality, and if it looks too nice to some degree, like for example, pepper looks really nice and is engaging, right? If you then find out that it can't hold a cup of tea, then you might be disappointed, right? So you need to find that fine-grained, mix of things that is really coherent to say what the robot can do. And this is why we have to have so many different views on the same device. Because it's such a complex machine that has the task that has so many tasks to solve, right? It's not just one task that it does, like a vacuum cleaner, that you can make look nice, that you know it just cleans there, and it doesn't have any social functionality. But then if you have that robot also have the function to wake you up, for example, it's a totally different ballgame. It needs to be interactive with you, it needs to do other things, and suddenly there's an explosion of parameters that you have to consider, and you need people from other disciplines.
Yeah, one of the other things, just the point that I want to say there, is that one of the things that we're researching, especially Patrick, is in acceptance and trust and all of these issues related to robots. And if we make them look too nice, people will trust them too much, which is also a thing that we don't want. So it's a really fine line there that we have to collaborate with other specialties and other disciplines to basically go through that.
There's also a question from Claire. Which is your favorite robot? So
I guess from the 3 ones that you've seen, to make it, or in general?
in general, right? Why not?
Pitch.
Yeah, I like. Yeah.
I mean, from the 3 ones that you've seen, probably Fetch. I think Fetch is quite cute, but it's also quite functional. If not, I'm like in love with Miro. I think Miro is very cute. Miro is a small dog-like social robot, and I do like him very much.
I agree. It was nice. Like if you want to have something that you can play around with and extend it a little bit, you might want to have something like a chalkboard where you put, you have these little levels that you can extend and put custom functionality onto. But if you want to have a robot that is ready to go in a sense, you can use a Miro robot very well. Maybe to give it to children to test it out, to give it to older people to see whether it can help get them in a better mood because they might have something wrong with it, right? So it's a very versatile tool in that sense. That's really nice. Yeah.
Do we have time for one more question or
Yeah.
last one?
I guess I have some time to
Which is make a good social robot. Does it have to have a face?
I don't think robot needs to have a face. It certainly helps for some appliances. So, for example, if you want that robot to show something like field of attention, where the robot has its current attention pointed towards, because people generally use eyes and head direction and body posture to see how other people's focus attention is, right?
Mhm.
So in that case, we're standing here, we all face the camera, we know our attention is towards the camera, right? But if I talk to River along, then my attention is somewhere else. And if I have a face, that's very intuitive and very easy for people to read. But it's not necessarily the case that you need to have that. You can indicate direction, for example, using a car indicator, right? I don't think, right?
Very feeling, show some feeling on the
And the question of having a robot feature first of all really depends on what the use case of that robot is. It's not easy. You cannot like say this feature is the killer feature for a certain robot, right? Because it really depends on the plan, on the application. So if you have this glove again as a social device that can then communicate with you, other than having with your rehabilitation, it doesn't need to be human, right? It can just have some monitor or something there. It can use haptics, for example, to communicate with you, or other technology, right? It can use your skin connection to see whether you're stressed. These kind of things can be used as social functions, other than human-like postural environment.
I would also point out that we humans are very good at seeing faces where there's no face. And I think one good example is Fetch. Like Fetch has a camera. It's not really a face, but I'm not sure about people in the live stream, but we definitely see a face. And because it moves the camera up and down to see where it's going, it kind of looks like it has a face when it's really just a camera. And it's not really intended to be a face like a human face with eyes and mouth and everything.
I always
But we
relate
see a
it to
face.
Wally.
Yeah,
That's
a
what
little
I
bit.
relate it to.
And Wally has eyes on purpose, right?
Yeah.
So that's
So the thing, Fetch doesn't, and we still see a face in it. So even if the robot doesn't need to have a face, we might assume that it kind of has a face because we're very good at detecting faces.
Why nobody is talking about Kevin?
Carrot also.
Carol is my second favorite robot. Fetch is nice. Carol is also really nice. The Carol, from my perspective, is a little bit large, and it's very difficult to get it into certain locations. Other than that, it's really nice. Like the arms are really impressive, like in Carol things. It has a really that screen is really nice because it can be very versatile again. You can display eyes like here, but you can also use it to display anything you want. For example, menu can display information when to take a medicine. Calendar you can display that. So it's a very, very strong and functional robot. So it's really it's a good machine.
Yeah, especially because the photon social robot is quite generic in terms of definitions. It could also be a companion as well as it could be an assistive robot as long as it is. So, like I said, functionality decides which feature is more important.
And that's actually why we have so many different robots. Right? So we can see whether this robot is better in that task or the other one performs better in the other task.
I think Kevin is a good example. When you want to make a robot that has all functions, so that would be big and huge.
Yeah.
But if you want to make it for specific purpose, that would be
Yeah.
different.
It doesn't need to be that big. Just for context, Carrot is almost as tall as I am. The same, right? So we want something that can carry things, that can be social, that can talk to people, that's on the screen, then it needs to be something that big. If we want it to carry things. Pepper cannot carry anything, basically, not even a Mac.
Focus more in social.
Yeah.
But
So-
you do find Pepper quite often used in a social interaction context, where more than perhaps Carol.
Yeah.
So there are different scenarios where that's actually preferred.
So Pepper is very good in the psychological type of studies where you look into some concept, for example, trust or acceptance, and then look how that robot performs because it really cannot physically do anything, but you can do theoretical scenarios with it, play through something like, do you want this robot to contact my family or do you not want to do that? And so then you can see whether you trust it or you like it or don't like it. So you have that rather future theoretical concept, proof of concept in these kind of robots, whereas in machines like Carrot and Fetch, you can actually do some robotics application that is useful in terms of physical assistance.
So,
Yeah.
I think we're in almost the time, but I would like to ask Koyo to come here.
Yeah, are you going to
Koyo,
join?
please.
Hi.
Yeah, we have a special guest, Koyo, who joined us from Japan. He's a visitor to our research group and just recently joined our mobile live team.
Yeah.
So,
Has been helping us today because sadly, as we said, Luis could not be here. So he's been helping today. And if you want to say anything about your research.
Okay,
Yeah.
Lewis is watching.
Hi, Luis.
I, my research is like kind of remote learning and robotics and using mirror. I should bring mirror today. I didn't.
that's
Yeah. But yeah, sounds kind of fun, interesting.
Yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. It was a pleasure. I hope you enjoyed it too, and thank you very much from the whole team. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Exactly.